I can understand why the disciples could not comprehend when Jesus kept saying that his kingdom was not of this world. The reason why I can understand that is because I still can't understand what God has done. We are told that through the ceaseless ages of eternity that we will have to study to see what God did. Did you get what I just said? We will have to study through the ceaseless ages of eternity, which means you will never get to the answer. Y'all still didn't catch it. I'm going to say it one more time. It says that we will have to study through the ceaseless ages of eternity to try to understand the love of God and what he did for us. Ceaseless ages of eternity, the place where we'll never die, meaning that we will always be studying to get the answer. It is one of those answers we'll never come up with, except all we can say is thank you. Anybody in the house learn how to say thank you for what God has done for you, even though sometimes you can't understand it. There's another important facet. Inside of this very top is bread. It's interesting that Jesus says to Satan while he's being tempted after 40 days of fasting. Now, we fasted, but we didn't fast the way Jesus fasted. Jesus fasted 40 days and 40 nights without anything. Did you hear what I just said? Without anything. And he said to Satan, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every Then he turns around, just listen, then he turns around and he tells the disciples, eat. This is my broken body. In other words, what he was really telling the disciples was, if you constantly eat of me, you will always have food. Now it's also interesting, Jesus says that he told David, your bread and your water. Now how can your bread and your water be sure if you haven't fasted on Jesus, feasted and fasted with Jesus first? Isn't it interesting? Elijah goes and ravens feed him. Ravens, vultures, feed him on a consistent basis. A raven doesn't give away anything. A raven is a selfish something. God is selfishly guarding your souls. I'm going to say it one more time so you get it. God is selfishly guarding your soul. So then there's another thing that says, guard well the avenues of the soul. So then I must learn how to partake of spiritual bread before I can have any physical bread, except for those folk who are in darkness. Which means that I am a disciple. What am I? I'm a disciple, and when I am trying to minister to people, I minister to them by giving them physical food. And the reason why I give them physical food is not only for nourishment, but it's also for them to understand that there is something deeper than physical food. Because I am the one who gave it to them. When God created man, what was the first thing that he gave him? Breath. He Gave him air. What was the second thing? The Bible doesn't say. I can tell you what it was. Something to eat. Am I right? He gave him something to eat. And after that, Adam walked with him. Who are you walking with? Who are you walking with? Are you walking with the right people that's going to develop your spiritual growth? Or are you walking with people that's going to stunt your growth? Just who are you walking with? And so, Jesus tells the disciples to take this bread and to eat this bread.